Might is right. These three words seem to be part of the Indian Constitution. They're not, but we behave like they are. And in India, it's a surprisingly effective way to behave. What I say next is not an attack on Mahindra or the Scorpio. The Mahindra Scorpio is a vehicle with a reputation. Depending on who you ask, it triggers feelings of dominance and strength or latent fear and apprehension. Of course, the reputation comes down entirely on the people driving the vehicle, but it's not always easy to separate the two. Launched in 2002, the Scorpio can trace its history to the legendary Willys CJ3B. Licensed by Mahindra, it was sold here as the MM540, which in turn gave us the Armada, then the Bolero, and finally, here we are. In the latest generation of the Scorpio, Mahindra has decided to keep things simple by offering the vehicle in 7 different trim levels, 2 different engines, both automatic and manual gearboxes, and 4x2 and 4x4 wheel drive options. Start the engine and you discover that it has managed to get a little polished. The days of it sounding like a tractor are in the past, and it doesn't intrude too much into the cabin, but there is a constant hum and vibration that does filter through. The engine, the subtly named M-Hawk, is a 2.2-litre diesel engine with a variable geometry turbocharger. It makes 120 horsepower and 280 pounds of torque. The engine is the only real reason I'm in this bully machine. This is a versatile engine. Despite weighing more than 2.5 tons, it's swift in the city. Keep it in second if you want to accelerate all day, and third if you want to treat it like an automatic. This is a low-end torque manufacturing machine. Even in the city, all you need is gentle taps with your toe to move around. Throttle responsiveness is good. Switch the micro hybrid feature off. It doesn't make sense in Indian traffic and is about as helpful to the environment as wearing only green-colored clothing. Get it on the highway and it continues to shine. Cruising, overtaking, or tailgating, the engine is comfortable whatever your highway driving philosophy. A 6th gear would have been welcome though. That's not to say changing gears is a pleasure. The constant frenetic vibration will give your left wrist the kind of constant workout while your right wrist usually has the stamina for. No dead pedal. Unacceptable! The Scorpio's ride quality used to be bumpy, but much like freedom of expression in this country, you don't notice it as much. It will constantly tell you what the road you're on feels like. And if your passengers want to know what it's like to experience an earthquake, just take the Scorpio over some country roads. Since the Scorpio is a body-on-frame SUV, I suggest adding more passengers or weight to improve the ride. And for those of you secure enough to do it, downsize the tires to 15 inches. I'm serious. In the city, it's easy to drive. You're sitting up high, the engine is obedient, and everyone around is petrified of you. Get on the highway and the confidence continues. Now, while the Scorpio is happy to cruise at 120, please remember that it is a top-heavy vehicle. It will topple easily during an emergency maneuver. If you're in an SUV and you're going above 100 kilometers an hour, you're going too fast. That's not an opinion, that's a fact. The steering is now a little more civilized as it's well suited to what passes for roads in most of rural India. The actual ground clearance is closer to 210 millimeters, and the brakes are competent enough, though everybody in the vehicle will be constantly diving forward if you brake a lot. So far, I've actually been kind to the Scorpio. Now I'm going to be candid. The Scorpio styling has always struck me as trying way harder than it needs to. It's already an intimidating looking vehicle, but the designers at Mahindra keep overdoing it. The front looks like it's been attacked by a transformer. The back reminds me of overpriced designer jeans that used to be trendy a decade ago. Just put the spare tire here, instant SUV, and clearly, they think Scorpio owners have dementia. Why else would they plaster the name 4 times? Climb inside and you can see that things have improved. It has an aesthetic, but still looks like it can take a lot of abuse. High seats, skinny A-pillars, and the large windscreen give excellent visibility. The rear windows have shrunk, which makes it harder to see what you've just run over. The steering wheel is brawny. Thumb contours. David Likey. Ironically, Considering the size of the average Scorpio owner, the seats aren't that big. The rear bench is long and wide, perfect for transporting everybody, from kidnapped victims to political party workers. Fold the seats down for extra space to carry banners, ballot boxes, and/or other contraband. There are few bottle holders, which makes sense since no one in this vehicle is going to be letting go of their drink anyway. Yes, but only after everybody involved has had several drinks. This Scorpio is going to be around, so get the S6 Plus or S8 variant. The Scorpio is more of the same, but improved. It's Salubai doing what he wants and giving his fans more of the same. I'm David, and welcome to Torque Speed.